Hi there. With this flagship trap in the Hennig Scharra Gambit in the Tarrasch, we will launch a short series of videos on this relatively rare opening. And this one is a type of standard bearer for this gambit, and it's taken from the famous 1931 game between Russia Pirc, usually pronounced Pirc in English, and the great former world champion Alekhine. So d4 and d5, c4, e6, Queen's Gambit declined orthodox, knight c3 and c5 the Tarrasch. White plays c takes on d5, where black plays c takes on d4, and after queen takes on d4, black can gain time by playing knight c6, hitting the white queen, since the pawn on d5 is pinned. D takes c6 drops the queen. So queen backs off to d1, and now e takes on d5, and now the queen takes again. So what have we got out of the opening? At first glance it appears black has very little. Pawn down with not much to show for it. However, it's quite deceptive, this opening. It's complex and deceptive. It was first seriously employed by Austrian master Hennig Scharra, who used it to defeat Ernst Grunfeld in 1918, and then a decade later German master Heinrich von Hennig, having been on the wrong side of a quick pounding against this gambit, he conducted some deep analysis of the opening. So after bishop d7, knight f6 is coming. White can try bishop g5 as Pirc played against Alekhine, and after knight f6, if bishop takes on f6, then queen takes f6. It looks fine for black, as black's going to get some serious counterplay after long castles. So rather than bishop takes f6, the queen drops back to d2. Now h6 asks the question of the bishop, who instead of running takes now on f6. Queen takes f6 and e3, and black continues according to plan with castles. Black's doing fine already, and it's hard for white to even claim equality. Maybe knight f3, or the awkward and ugly looking queen c1, getting the queen off of that dangerously explosive d file. But Pirc played long castles as well, and now it's game over. Bishop g5 is the obvious move, unleashing the rook, hitting the queen, with the bishop hitting the rook on d1. And Pirc had planned for knight d5, but Alekhine, instead of taking on d1, plays this exchange sack, much more effective. Rook takes on d5, because after queen takes on d5, what a fantastic move Alekhine uncovered now. Bishop to a3, the threat being queen takes on b2, checkmate. And if the bishop is taken, then the queen is coming to a1, and that's going to be decisive as well. So after bishop a3, queen drops back to defend queen b3, but also the f2 pawn is hanging. That's going to be taken at some point, but first bishop takes on d1. If king takes on d1, recapturing, then queen takes on f2 with the bishop on f1 hanging precariously. So after bishop takes d1, it's queen takes on a3, but queen takes f2 now threatens mate on c2, so that has to be defended, and it's going to be defended by queen to d3 as opposed to king takes on d1. That's going to be losing again. The rook's coming to d8, the queen can take on f1. So queen d3 allows bishop to go back to g4, perhaps threatening to go to f5, and the rook coming to d8. Knight f3 was played by white, and black's going to chop that off. Bishop takes f3. Rather than recapture though with the g pawn, white thought he might get something with queen to f5 check and then recapturing. So queen f5 sends the king to b8, and queen takes on f3. But black certainly doesn't want to trade. Queen e1, it looks like a mating attack. After king to c2, Alekhine played it impeccably with rook c8, threatening to unleash a discovered mating attack. But white thought he might get something from queen to g3. It looks like it's forcing a swap of queens, but that's not the case, as black can interpose knight e5, interposing that check while unleashing his own discovered check. So the king up to b3, and now the black queen is free to queen d1 check to continue the mating attack, and after king to a3, rook c5, not only defending the knight but threatening a mating attack with rook a5. So this has been the flagship trap in the Hennig Scharra Gambit from the game Pirc against Alekhine 1931. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.